All right, Sean, welcome to the Lost Frequency Podcast.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on. Thanks to your wonderful audience. Hello.
All right, thanks for being on here, man. We appreciate it. We're gonna get into some stuff today, my friend.
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude.
So, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, Sean, and where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm Sean Hibbeler, CEO of Hibbeler Productions. I've been a filmmaker technically for 4 years now, but I've been making truth videos since 2016. My first YouTube upload was called Truth Is Not Fear Investigation. And it really set the tone for my life, my career, uh, leaving behind what I built to, being a career of sports highlights and working my way to ESPN, and just threw it all away because I knew this was more important. And rather than accepting salaries and guaranteed income, I chose the donation route and the independent route. And so far, so good. The lights are on. It's a struggle, but at the same time, I know what this world wants and needs, and I'm out there, boots on the ground, making films yearly, and I'll never stop. So, for me personally, anyone that wants to check me out, hibbelerproductions.com. This is audio only. It's Hibbeler productions.com. That's where all my films are. I used to always upload to YouTube originally from 2016 and on. Once I started to touch some certain topics, they started to strike me and ban me and shadow ban me. And for instance, I have a short video called Realize from YouTube from years ago. It's been stuck on 1 million views for, it feels like, 1 million years. They don't allow my numbers to perform accurately anymore. I can upload any video. I used to upload any video to YouTube and it'd get at least 200,000 views within a month. Now I'm lucky to get 200 views in a week. So I know that there's something going on. So I kind of left YouTube. I will put trailers, previews, or standard definition films on there, obviously. So, because the truth should be free. But everything I do is on my website, and they're not going to be able to stop that. So, but yeah, I make films on stuff people feel uncomfortable about. But, I'm not the feelings police. I'm the truth police. So I don't care about feelings, man. The truth is the truth. And if someone is offended by it, I feel bad for them. But I could definitely answer questions to explain some of these truths, because it's pretty hard to believe some of these truths out there. But the evidence is overwhelming. I'm not going to make a film or make a video on a topic half-ass. I'm not going to just pretend to know what I'm talking about and put my name on it like it's true. If it's not, it is true. And that's why if it's in my film, you go ahead and pause the film and look it up. It's in there. You'll find the truth. You just have to look. I just try to make films for the people that are not the people that have two masks on walking their dog. I don't make films for them.
Or driving their car, with the two masks. Yeah.
Back in the day, though, I would, I felt like that was my market. I felt like that was my duty as a soldier of God to wake those people up. But as I, through the proof of it all, I noticed that maybe they're just not human, or they're not like us, and they can't, or they're just in a deep trance. And I'm done wasting my energy breaking them out of a trance, because I know that there's a bigger focus, a bigger market for my type of work. And that's for the people that are waking up. They're confused. They don't know what to believe anymore. They heard something over here. Their cousin, their neighbor told them something, but they believe the media or the government, and they're kind of in the middle where it's like, I don't know what to believe. What do you got on the topic, Bob? So it's like, hey, Bob, I'll just use Bob as an example of a name, but it's just like, Bob, what do you have, right? Like, what do you have to show me? And generally speaking, with most topics, there's nothing. There's usually videos or YouTube playlists, or, go to this YouTube channel and look around. No one's going to do that. No one's doing that. No one, I mean, the attention span of people, they have to be interested in the topic, and they don't know what to press. They don't know how to wake up by just choosing a bunch of videos. They're lost. They don't know what's going on. So this is why in 2020, when the lockdown started, I decided to leave everything behind and focus on Hibbeler Productions, the brand, the company, the media, just formatting real films, documentaries, boots on the ground, cameras, interviews, anything I can do to put together a film or a documentary, or both at the same time, to present to someone on a topic. So now you got someone to say, hey, I got a film on this topic. You need to sit down and watch this film. Because for some reason, people take films more seriously in a professional standard format, because that's what we're used to doing our whole lives. We're programmed by movies and documentaries and films. So they still want that programming. They're looking for that media format of a movie, a film. I want to watch a film on this topic. Okay, well, now there's someone like myself. There's others, but there's someone like myself now that can probably say, look, we're going to have a film for that topic. Don't worry. I'll get to it. There's many rabbit holes, and being a one-man band and not having a job, it's hard. So I rely on the people, and the people respond. And, you know, the small budget I have for fundraising my projects every year, it's, you know, I talk to other directors and producers in the industry or even higher up than me. They say it's impossible to make a documentary for under 200 grand. Well, I've done 4 now for under 20 grand. So the only reason I do small fundraisers is to help with flights and hotels. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much covering that. I spend everything else out of my own pocket. It's just for help because I don't have a 9 to 5. And the audience has always come through in the end. This one's going a little slow, which is why I can't book all these trips. And this is why Old World Order is, you know, barely 10% produced, because I need the footage. So I'm going to Florida. I just got enough donations the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe, after Sam's show. You know, the swarm came through.
There you go.
They got me enough. I think it was like $1,500, $1,800 came in right away from different people. $1 here, $5 there. Someone gave me a couple $100. Oh, holy crap. They want this film done. So now I looked at it like, okay, here's an opportunity now to what's next? What's next on the bucket list of trips for this film? And it was Florida, Narcolongo. So I just booked that. And I got like 7 more trips. So it's really just like, hey man, when that meter of donations goes up, and I can do my next trip. That's pretty much how I'm playing it now. Yeah. So I'm not racing. I don't have a release date. I probably would if this fundraiser was filled and I was done with all my trips. Then I could come back, look in the editing room and go, okay, 3 months. And I could put a release date on it. I have no idea. I need the footage, you know. So as soon as I can start getting to these destinations and finish, I'll have a better idea of when the new one's coming out. But it gets tough, man, because, you know, one day, hopefully, God willing, I'll be financially stable enough to not have to be a one-man band. It's so hard. I'd rather pay a guy to do the coloring. I'd rather pay a guy to do the sound. I'd rather pay a guy to help on site. I don't have any of that. So it gets difficult and very stressful, and the stress turns into my shoulders, my neck, my traps, my back. I chiropractor every week because I'm always here, and you can't always be sitting like this. So but it's what I do, and I'll continue to do it. As long as the audience, the community wants it and craves it and needs it, they know that I'm going to deliver.
Well, it's a very commendable thing that you decided to skip your 9 to 5, talking about football, baseball that's been around forever. It's just kind of like
distraction, the circus,
looking at something like that. And I was thinking too, you were talking about, you know, you were basically calling them non-player characters, NPCs. These people, we were all of us were one of these people at one time, but you can't like take them kind of like a Clockwork Orange and tape their eyes open to look at it. There has to be some type of watershed moment, and then something will click within them, and then they'll start like catching on to things, and then start looking into podcasts like
I don't know. I don't know though, really. Like I might disagree with that. I think some of them are so ingrained. Like we had that eye-opening moment. We had that opportunity, and I believe you did. There was a split where some of them were like, well, I don't like doing this, but I'm doing this because I have to. You know, those are the ones that I think you're marketing to, because those are the ones that are like, they're questioning, but they're like, well, I'm just doing it because I have to, you know. And it's the ones that are just terrified, that are double masking and still masking to this day, you know, driving in their car and you're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah. And then you could pull out like some scientific literature that was in Singapore saying that they don't do nothing, and put it right in their face.
Yeah. But then they'll say, well, Neil deGrasse Tyson said that this is that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Fauci. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we knew that from the beginning, but Neil deGrasse Tyson was kind of guy at the beginning. He was like, oh, he speaks well. He's he's intellectual. He's clever. He's a little funny, a little dorky, and whatever. But now he's like, this guy is a shill. There's something weird with this guy. So, and people are still listening to him. Then you got to really shake your head a little bit.
When he backtracks on just about everything, and then tries covering up, like when Felix. I was just talking about this the other day when Felix Baumgartner was jumping out of his capsule there, and even Neil deGrasse Tyson's like, "Oh, that's a fisheye lens, though, because you're not going to see the curvature at that." Oh shit! So why don't you tell our listeners what documentary you're working on?
What are you working on?
Yeah, it's called Old World Order. It's going to be regarding the deception of our mainstream history, the cover up of the empires before us, the cover up of our true ancestors, the large humans. Okay, I always call it that.
Okay,
now.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the fact that we didn't come from monkeys. We didn't come from monkeys. People have a choice. You have to choose. See, and this is another thing I'm going to say. A lot of truthers, or the community itself, it seems divided at times because they want to cherry pick what part of Rockefeller's history books is true and then what parts are false. I'm saying it's all false. And people come back at me and go, well, no, because no. Here's the thing. You get to choose Rockefeller's history or do some fucking research yourself and look it up. And, play cross-reference, play process of elimination, play why are they faking construction photos. There's a lot of games to play when you go back in time. And then you start to use logic, then you start to use common sense, and you go, wait a minute, these timelines are horrendous. They make absolutely no sense. It's almost as hilarious. Actually, let me requote that. It's more hilarious than NASA to me. The NASA's fake photos of the Earth and all their fuckery and trickery in the space station. We all know about all that stuff for years now. The timeline of our history is more laughable than any of that. And it's going to be proven.
Yeah, don't hold back, Sean. Go for it, man. Fuckery is a great word.
Are we going to be on YouTube, though?
We will be.
Likely,
yeah, most likely.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I have unfortunately canceled a lot of people's channels by some things I've said. So I just need to know if I'm on YouTube. That's all. Because you guys
we will be on YouTube. Yeah.
All right. I'll watch my mouth. Don't worry.
Well, we know how to dance. We dance too, but eventually we're gonna not dance too. We're gonna have separation. We have to have a main one.
Yeah.
We're gonna not dance
when we do grow to a larger state. Yeah, we're gonna pull off YouTube and for certain ones.
We're gonna be there in the light corners with you as well.
I fucking hate YouTube. I hope they hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah. With their, and I agree with their shadow banning. Like, how are you supposed to get, like, it's ridiculous. And I heard the FE was one of the first things that they started ragging on. That was one of the first things that they started pulling out.
It's the main reason that everything changed.
Mm-hmm. And
you go back to YouTube in 2015, 2016, it was outranking Trump and Hillary. Everyone was looking for flat earth content, even though your neighbor that is now wearing a mask didn't know that. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It did happen. I was a witness of it. I was a part of it. And the simple fact that Congress and our government and the world governments alike have shut this down. But what they did was they did it differently. They didn't just say, hey, if you upload videos about flat earth or globe being a lie, we're going to delete it. And like, for me, that would have been better. And I'll tell you why, because then it's like, then you could show everybody, dude, my video just got deleted. I'm just recording the horizon with my camera. Why is my video deleted? It wouldn't make any sense. And everyone, including the neighbor with the mask on, would go, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You're just recording the horizon and zooming in on boats. Like, why would they remove that? It's a huge red flag. So what they did strategically was say, what else can we do? Because we can't delete everyone's video. It does not breaking any laws. It's not harming anyone. But it is fucking up our entire world system. So what can we do? And that's simply control the algorithm. And every single video that has flat earth in the video or the title is going to have a Wikipedia box. that doesn't do much damage, in my opinion. I think that's a weak link that they did. If anything, it backfired on them. People go, why is there a box on this too? I thought the earth being flat was stupid. Why are they censoring it? So that helped us. But at the same time, it's a simple fact that now you can go to YouTube, present day, type in flat earth, you get all the same results. So I want your audience to understand something, what I mean by that. If you type in flat earth documentary on YouTube and hit search, you won't find any flat earth documentaries, including 3 of my hits. So, or anyone else's. Vika had one. You know, was it Stu Peters dropped that one? No. I don't know if he's working on one. There's other documentaries though that are supposed to come up, is the point, especially one with hundreds of thousands of views, probably millions, but hundreds of thousands of views on it doesn't come up. Now, it's not about me at this point. What I'm trying to tell your audience is now backspace the word documentary and put in proof. So now you got flat earth proof search. You're going to get the same videos that come up. Wait, you just had the top 20 results on the flat earth documentary, giving you nothing but CBS, CNN, and Comedy Central bits. Where's the documentaries? Okay, maybe there are none. Okay, so let me backspace. I want to see flat earth proofs now, and the same exact videos will come up. Okay, and then backspace proofs and put horizon test. You should be a whole thousands of videos. There's probably millions of horizon tests and boats, you know, and all this stuff. Nothing. You know what comes up? The same results. You're going to see Mark Sargent's face on the ABC News, like this. You're going to see Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Jimmy Kimmel, and all this.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Yeah, you're going to see all these fucking people that have nothing to do with True Earth. They have nothing to do with representing what we've been speaking about since 2014, 2015. Shout out Eric Dubay, Matt Powell, and the OGs, Santos Bonacci. The OGs were doing it 2014, 2015. Actually, Powell was a little before that. But either way, you get nobody. I don't even care about me at this point. You don't get anybody for any result that believes in this, that has evidence, that has facts, that puts work in, that's printed books, that's made films, that's done all these things, that whistleblows on NASA, Powerland. There's people that you should see first, second, third, fourth. There's nothing. So if someone in the audience is going, no, the Earth's flat. Well, yeah, the reason you don't know that is because you can't now. It's too late, okay? If you were not in this early, it takes a long time to wake up, because a lot of people go, I'll look into it by myself. You can't. You can't anymore. That's the thing. No matter what you do, Google, YouTube, wherever, you can't research this topic and find anything that I've been saying for 8 years. It doesn't exist unless you know how to trick it. You got to search by upload date. There's things that you can, bypass their bullshit algorithm, or Dave Weiss's app. That's why he made it. So there is no algorithm. It's his playlist that, back in the day, you have related videos.
Right.
Yep.
That's how people woke up. That doesn't exist anymore. Actually, I've been told, at least, if you watch Level With Me on YouTube, the standard def version I dropped, the related video is always NASA. The related video is always SpaceX or science.com.
Really?
Oh, because they control the algorithm. It just so happens that you got to watch that film on YouTube for free. They know you didn't find it naturally. So they already have my video in the category of what's going to come next for this user, because they don't want you to watch it. It's as simple as they could be more blatant about, they don't want you to watch the real stuff. And it's because
for one of two reasons.
It's a danger to them.
For one of two reasons. They're afraid.
Yeah.
They're afraid and don't want you to know it, or their excuses is that we're protecting you from basically lies, or what's the word they use?
False information or
whatever.
And
it's like, who are you to decide what I hold to be true? You know what I'm saying? That could be like me going up there. I'm not saying I'm not a religious person. I'm a person of God. And I go up there and I just start hammering away at whoever's religion it is. They would let that fly. But when it comes to something like this, that you can go out and research yourself, they don't want you to know that, because they're protecting you from information that may be harmful.
And for anybody in your audience that's siding with option B you gave, meaning that they're trying to protect you from misinformation, right?
Right.
Okay. So here's a test. Go start a new theory called Heart Earth. Say the Earth is the shape of a heart, and it pumps the water, and Just make something up, just for no
Yeah.
reason. Make it up. Make up a animated 3D model of it. Have some clips. Do this, do that. Make fun of NASA a little, maybe, but make your heart Earth theory, and get it out there. They'll have no issue with that. They won't. Do they care about hollow Earth or whatever those are? Nobody cares about these donut Earths, these retarded things that people listen, there's no problem. Actually, you'll find the good results. It's all bullshit. So they don't care about that. But you start talking about more land, you're a danger.
Yes.
Because if they knew that millions of people knew they were hiding land, their governments, their universities, it's done. It's over. People want to get rid of our government, get rid of these tyrants, and get rid of tyrant policemen, and get rid of the United Nations and all these corrupt things, big pharma, right? All these things people want to get. Well, then just go find more land and live there. But if you don't know about it, how can we go find it? And once they know that people are out to find it, they're fucked. It's done. So all I do is try to do what I can to speculate. Again, I can't go there, but the red flags, there's too many red flags, not 2 or 3. There's hundreds of red flags that they're hiding stuff over there. So that's for me, that's my main goal in the flat Earth. It's not only to prove it's a stationary plane by NASA's documents or by your own fucking eyes, but it's also to raise awareness that there's, I can't say probably, I guess, probably would still be in the category of speculating, that there's probably more land, more resources, possibly more humanoids, different human races, whatever. Possibly, probably, they're over there where we can physically go as human beings, not this made up shit. This is why they reversed it all. Everything about cool stuff that you don't know about is above you. You can't go there no matter what you do. You have to trust the 560 Freemasonic astronauts' word. But other than that, you can't go there. You have no access. You'll never be able to go. Even if you were invited on a trip to Mars, then it'd take 30,000 years to get there. Good luck with that. Here's the thing. When people realize that there's nothing above them but an ocean and pretty lights, then they could refocus on exploration, refocus on what we're born with as a human being. You're born with the need to love. You're born with the need for hunger, for eating, for water. There's things that we're born with in our brain, emotions, but exploration's one of them. And they don't want anybody to realize that. We're all born with the God-given right and desire to explore. But as you see in Truman's Show, they pull that fucking map down and say, you're too late. Everything's been explored. Sit down now, Truman. They don't want, I want to be an explorer. No. That's why you don't hear children like, I want to be an explorer. When was the last time you heard that? They will get laughed at because the world's a ball, dude. Like, what do you mean? There's nothing to explore. Go pay your taxes. Do your 9 to 5. But once people realize that the exploration, there's so much to do, maybe we can get people involved again in a professional manner. No one's looking to go blow the United Nations up, guys. I'm not a violent person, but if there's casualties, there's casualties. Eventually, they're going to have no choice but to step aside. That's it.
I agree. Once you get, I believe, like, from what I heard, the tipping point is like 15%. If you get like 15% of the population to agree to something, then the rest will just follow.
We're getting there.
I remember actually being in school and there was like the globe on the thing, and I was spinning it around and looking at it like in the Pacific Ocean. And the teacher was like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm like, "I'm looking for land that no one's discovered before." And she's like, "It's all been discovered." Like they take, and that's many ideas that you what you were saying. We have this innate ability to want to explore, whether it be consciousness, our environment, love, ideas, and what they want to do is they want to encapsulate that and put that in one little box and close your mind out. And when you like what you said, it's very interesting. If they don't want you to listen to it, if they want you to listen to it, then they'd be like, yeah, it's just stupid. And that's the first thing. They laugh at you, then they yell at you, and then they give in. So what they're trying to do is like, close it all down. And it's very commendable what you're doing. I kind of, because, Sam likes to get you riled up because he kept saying, well.
No, Johnny does, not Sam.
Yeah, Johnny likes to get you riled up. Yeah, well, yeah. Well,
Johnny likes to question everything. Yeah,
the audience will watch it and think there's beef or something, or think like, Oh, they'll be like, "Oh, Hibbeler won that battle," or "Johnny won that." Like, dude, we're not battling. Like, we talk beforehand. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, "You want to play some devil's advocate today?" "Oh yeah, I got." He even said, "I got a headache today." I'm like, "Good, use that." You know, like, let's go. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to come at me because I'm a passionate dude, and if this is an echo chamber, it's gonna be a very calm show. I don't mind the calm show, but I want somebody yelling in my ear about the World's Fairs or something their great grandpa told them. Like, dude, like, let's go with that because
Can we
the
get into the
research
World's
I did
Fairs?
on, well, say it again.
I would love to get into the World's Fairs. It's one of my favorite things, one of my absolute favorite things to talk about. Where they basically use those
What,
to
like
rewrite history.
1 year, build all
Not
that shit in
I'm
1
just
year?
the purpose of it, what they did with it, and how they the orphan trains and the mud floods and all that craziness. I would love to get into that a little bit.
What questions?
If you
What questions you guys have on it?
like,
First of all, what was the purpose of the World Fair? I was thinking the World Fair was like auction off, or like I think at that point we had
version?
what? Sorry,
I'll tell you the mainstream version to your audience of what they
let's
tell
hear
you.
it. Yeah,
And then what I think really is going on. The
Okay.
mainstream version, quickly, is that basically whether it be San Francisco, Chicago, wherever the fair was, they wanted to put something together for the community and show off their architecture. They wanted to build temporary buildings out of paper mache and bullshit. They want to throw a bunch of stuff up to have events for people to come and see all the stuff they did. And in reality, though, those buildings were not made to be temporary. Those buildings were basically shown off to, if you look at the people that attended a lot of these fairs, a lot of top hat guys, a lot of look like high class type of people that were meeting there, gathering from around the world to come to these events. And I got some photos. Again, I'm not going to release until the film, but
Yeah.
what it looks like they were doing to me was not only showing off our last civilization's technology to maybe trade amongst each other, United Nations style, where it's like, you guys want this, we want this, you want a direct energy weapon, we want church organs that heal you. So there's a lot of trading going on, I noticed, and there's a lot of showing off modern homes, meaning the actual type of structures they can build back then. So they were trying to shift the viewer, the whoever's there, to look at newer style homes, these homes that they know they can build. They're trying to basically teach the people what's to come, what's coming out of this. And then once they started to, I think it was direct energy weapons the whole time, all the wars, everything, all the buildings destroyed by direct energy weapons. It looks just like Maui when you look back. But I think the whole purpose of the World's Fairs were to paint that story for the future. So they could say, look, we built these. They were temporary. We took them down. We only kept a few. Whoa, hold on. So you built all these temporary buildings in less than a year. Okay, I don't care if it was paper mache. That's going to take you 5 years back then. But I'll give them that year of paper mache, apparently. And, stucco. I don't know what they say. It's like, and then when you look at these original photos of those older World Fairs, like the 1893, 96 with Chicago, those buildings already look old. Thought they were brand new and temporary. They already look old. They already look worn out. And the ones that they said, you know what? We voted, and we're going to keep that one in this city. We're going to keep those two in that city. They're temporary, but everyone wants to keep. They like it, so we'll keep them. We're going to get rid of why'd you have to destroy the rest? Why don't you just, take them down? It's paper. What are you doing? They destroyed the rest. There's footage of that, and the residue of it all. And then you look at the buildings that survived. They're still here today. So what are you talking about? You talk about 1890s. You built a temporary structure that's only supposed to last a year or less. They took them down in 6 months, I think. Took them down. But the ones that survived are still here. So a temporary building in the 1800s can last over 100 years. But a modern day building, I thought we were evolving, remember? A modern day building lasts 50 years, So, and they're built to last forever, too, on top of it. None of these modern buildings, they're not buildings to me. There's something else. Okay, who built them? I don't know. I wasn't there. Looks like giants, possibly gods, I don't know, but it wasn't people like us. And there's countless amount of evidence that proves not only did they cover up their awful construction photos. The construction photos to me are worse than NASA's CGI Earth. Sorry, it's more obvious to the human mind. That's not whether you're in a trance or not. We were all in a trance about the globe, but it still took me a week it took me a week straight of realizing, oh man, this is Photoshop, right? These clouds, like oh yeah, I turn the level up in Photoshop. Oh my God, there's a box around it. Okay, so they're pasting shit. Oh my God, this is all produced. None of this is legit. Yeah, but the construction photos from the 1800s and the early 1900s on these old world buildings, I mean, let me tell you guys, it's just hilarious. It's hilarious. And nine out of 10 of them, there's nothing but sticks. It looks like, maybe they took maybe that was their paper mache, or I look at it like popsicle sticks, and they
bamboo or something.
Yeah, well, really though, like popsicle sticks. I mean, You get professionals. Again, these aren't 10-year-olds doing it for these construction photos. You get professionals to do a model of, call it the Palace of Fine Arts or something, and they're going to model it and do all this stuff, and then take a picture with the white background because the sky's always white. They blur out everything. It's called, vanilla sky
dioramas.
Yeah. So, and that's it. And they got one guy with a top hat on, his hand inside his pocket, Masonic style, and he's got a shovel. Like, oh yeah, what? Construction. Holy shit! I see no crew. I see no tools. Oh, there weren't tools yet. Okay. So, how did you make these stone pillars that look like it's one piece? And where's the pictures of the people inside the building carving all these beautiful artwork by hand, and like there's nothing. So once I realized there weren't any construction photos of the insides, because again, you could fake a bunch of outside photos, they look fake to begin with, and I'd say about 75% of them are artist impressions, even though they're on the official website as real construction, or like when I'm boots on the ground going into some of these public buildings and political. I mean, I'm not political. Sorry, what am I thinking of here?
Governmental buildings,
Capitol buildings, right? Like the old world buildings. That they'll have one or two construction photos, and then when I look online, it's an artist impression. So I'm like, wait a minute. So they're showing people artist impressions and saying it's real construction, and even the artist impression, they don't even pretend to draw people building the building. They don't pretend to have a crew. They don't pretend to have anyone has helmets on. There's nothing. Or they'll take a picture, which I could do this today. You'll see it in the film. Me and my lunch break did something like this together, where you could just go up to any old world building right now that has they put the what do they call them, like the rafters, the things they wrap around the building.
Oh my God! So
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, scaffolding.
So I had a mind blank there. The scaffold. So they'll just put and that's the thing. A lot of these old world construction photos from the 1800s, 1900s. That's all it is, man. It's the buildings already there.
And they put the scaffolding around it. Oh,
they put scaffolding around it. And then those of you that don't even realize that that's a lazy way to fake it, because that's for painting. Those are used for painting.
I got you to paint the building.
So, and here's
no, that's my point. That's all they need.
And here's the thing, Sean.
You walk into one of these buildings and you go down, hey, where's the construction photo of this? Most of them go, I don't think we have any. Oh yeah, there's one in the lobby. Okay, one in the lobby. It either looks like they're digging out a building from the mud. I can't make this up. It either looks like 5 people are digging the building out of the mud, or it's an artist impression. Or it's something along the lines of the exact building I'm standing in is all there, and they have scaffolding around it. But it says, this is them constructing the building in 1892. It's like, I see one horse, 3 guys. Why do they have suits on? They bring your suit to work day for construction with no power tools, no transportation. I understand that they discovered the train tracks of our ancestors and dug those up and started getting trains and trolleys going. I get that. So people are like, they had trains. I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but it took them a long time to dig up all these tracks, guys. So that's why most of the narrative is horses or donkeys. And when you do the math and go, wait, you look at San Francisco, for instance, and you find a building that was claimed to be 1898, done in a year. 90% of the building is marble. Okay. You go, oh, man, we're in San Francisco. Marble? Oh, where was marble in 18 whatever, right? Whatever the year is. Where was the marble at in this world? Oh, Spain or okay, Spain. Okay. Oh, 750 miles away. Okay. So the horses, and the problem is the official narrative will go, hey, there's millions of pounds of stone used in this, or millions of pounds of marble use. So you have horse and buggy going 750 miles each way. How much water are they drinking? How many trips did you make? I think it would take the year that they said it took just to get 20% of the materials, let alone design the building, have a foundation. You have no one that has experience back then. And that's why a lot of these architects, which are just Freemasons that they assign a building to that they found. But you see these architects and it's always they die and the son took over. The son never had experience.
Yeah.
Son comes in. It feels like an AI story, man, where they just kind of copy paste AI statements and put it on every building. And a lot of these Wikipedia inserts on these old world buildings have been inserted in the last 2 years because of the topic and the virality of it all. And they're like, dude, we don't have any explanation in these buildings. Put one out there. And it seems like AI is generating this because we're noticing a lot of faults in the Wikipedia box. It's like, wait, I just read that same story on a building across the world. And you go back to that building and it's like, oh, they just changed the names of the architects. It's damn near word for word, everything. And it's always the same story, meaning the architect won a contest. So they had a contest of who could build our, it was never a city hall, but that's the official story. Who's going to win a contest to build our city hall? By the way, most of these buildings were built during the Depression. So no one's going to approve millions of dollars back then to be spent on a city hall. We're in a war. And now we're in a depression. Doesn't matter. We're going to build it anyways without any evidence. We're just going to build it for everybody during wars and stuff. It makes the timelines are so lazy that once I started reading some of them, I had no other choice but to make a film. And that's why this one's going to take a while, man. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard enough to prove to someone that we're not spinning. This one's a little harder for me because, everyone's involved in mainstream history, right? In a sense, everyone, like Columbus discovered America. But then when you ask him in reality, like, hey, off the record, Columbus didn't discover America, right? They're like, yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't. Because, Indians were already here. So I'm like, no, but you're teaching our children that still. So why are we allowing, like, it's like people cherry pick, like, yeah, I don't like that's not a lie, but that is a lie. But it doesn't matter. Just teach it to the kids. It's like Santa Claus all over again. Just lie to the kid. They'll deal with it when they're older. Well, that's terrible. And I'm sick of the lies, man. I want people to realize that Rockefeller's education is nothing but a lie. There's no truth to it. You can't just pick. Oh, well, no, I think the Westerns were real. So, that was all real because Rockefeller said so. And I like Westerns. I love Clint Eastwood. Fuck you. I'm like, it's fine. you can do that. But I discount it all. They're like, oh, that's lazy. No, it's not. I don't want to believe a liar anymore. You can't
to cut you off, Sean.
To believe liars, man.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I find your argument about these buildings and what you just said, all that way more compelling than some of the arguments for the FE. It's easier.
You don't think it's compelling, though. I love that.
No, not that. I'm just saying, for me, it's easier to digest. I don't know why, but for me, it's much because it's everything versus. It's so simple. Like if you think, because I guess the way,
I think
logistics and things like that, it makes it easier for me.
But the history is everything as well, though, too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
that's why I love it.
Oh, okay. And I heard you saying, I think it was on Sam's show there, that Freemasons. They're called Freemasons because they discovered it's like
the buildings were founded. I think that's the thing you said too.
Yeah, I mean they found Freemasonry. That's it's a good group name to call yourselves, bunch of fucking bozos. I don't know where they came from. That's the thing. People call me out like on Sam's show, like, oh, you think there was no human beings before 1850? It's like, you didn't hear what I said. I was trying to tell people that it's almost impossible to find anyone in your family legitimately before 1850. Talk about family trees, ancestry, and all that. But when you go to mainstream websites and it says your family was, came to America in the 1700s, there's not much information. Then you got information on your actual great great grandpa, and you're tracing it like, oh yeah, so yeah, I mean, we were here. It's like, well, that's not evidence to me. That's a story again. There's actually no evidence that any of our family was here before the 1800s. If anything, when you look into the Cabbage Patch Kids, and the way it used to actually go down, I'm not talking about the cartoon was a spinoff. It's the same reason why. Well, the same reason why you type in Disney Frozen and you don't find any articles on Walt Disney being frozen anymore because they made a cartoon. It's the same reason why you can't research the Black Panther movement of the African Americans.
Right, because of the movie
Black Panther. That's all you get. So yeah, and you can't find the next level because they made a Jumanji. So here's the thing, man.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, that was more of a joke, but it's the thing of they know what they're doing in the process. They know how easy it is to wake up to this stuff. So they have to eliminate search results. They don't want anyone waking up. That's the most dangerous thing, is waking up by yourself. No influence, just doing the research, cross-referencing, pretty much everything I'm doing for this film. If someone did that themselves in the way that I'm doing it, like with a open mind, thinking critically, specifically thinking logically, then anyone, it doesn't matter if your whole life was dedicated to Rockefeller's history and you taught people for 40 years, you're retired, you know everything about all this history. If you still do the cross-referencing and the research, you'll go, what the fuck is going on? Someone fucked up here, because none of this makes sense. I don't look at it as just doesn't make sense. I look at it as a grand deception. So
yeah, speaking of fucking up, they must have literally, I don't know what the hell they were doing when they released or let the internet, like that must have been either planned or they didn't know what it was going to become. What do you think about that, Sean? Why the internet exists? Because if to prove that theory, they would have to make a monumental mistake or some type of psyop.
Well, I got 1800s artistry, authentic artistry of what we're doing now, video chatting. So, in my opinion, this isn't new. It's just been shunned. And you have to understand, man, we're taught on a mainstream level that before the I could probably say that before the 1900s started, that we had nothing. We didn't have anything. Ever.
The slow progression concept, instead of the crashing up, or as we're probably speaking, the hidden.
It's not even that. It's just the fact that the actual mainstream story for the world is that before the 1900s started, we didn't have a damn thing to our name. We were just a bunch of idiots with horses. We don't know how to do anything. Yet we can build these in a year. But it's weird because nothing exists. And then within 50 years, everything, all the inventions from as small as power tools to as big as airplanes, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, all this stuff, video cameras, pictures, all this stuff. It all it's just there now, right? The past 50, 60, 70 years, it's just, we have everything now. And we look and we're taught that, well, we had none of this back then. And I don't agree with that. I think that they knew that our ancients had all of this stuff, plus more to come in our lifetime that was already out. But it's the way that they release it to the public, a little bit at a time. They want to feel like they invented it. They made something and they're powerful now. Look what we invented, the television. Man, there's a book called The Iron Republic. It was published in 1902, but I think it was the actual first-hand eyewitness testimony was accounted for in the late 1800s. A man and his crew got in a ship. They were tired of the tyranny in the States. Sounds familiar, but they got in their ship and they just took off, man. It's something that we should all be able to do. We can't anymore, but He just took off. This is before any United Nations treaty and before Admiral Byrd, before anybody. And they took off and they got lost by sea. He documented everything word for word, and he stumbled upon a new continent. And they called themselves the Iron Republic. And these guys were very tall. Let's put it that way. These people were large. They're super nice. They already had advanced technology. They had Bluetooth. They had electric cars. They had electric crafts. People call them UFOs. They're electrostatic crafts. They were in the book. Again, you could be like, oh, that's just a fantasy book, Hibbeler. Even if it is, I don't think it is. I think it's true. But even if to someone goes, yeah, it's a fantasy book, why are they talking about more land past Antarctica? Why are they talking about flat screen TVs on the wall? Well, like, why are they even talking about this stuff?
Yeah.
Even if it was fake.
Right.
How and why are they talking about all these things that never existed, but now we have all this stuff? It's because it was already here. Whether it's here in the unpopulated country of America, because no one really lived here, I could prove that, or it was from an outer land, somewhere else, some other civilization, thousands of miles south of us. I don't know. But I do know that it seems as if it was already here. All this technology already existed, and they wanted to be these power, New World Order, man. That's why it's the Old World Order, because it was much better. We lived in harmony, free energy. I'm sure the water was free. It didn't have fluoride in it. All this stuff started when the New World Order started. And in my opinion, New World Order started once all this started, man. My opinion is right after the reset. If we had one, it was around the early 1800s. Possibly a second one occurred, but I don't know. A lot of people think it was natural, like God just reset the whole world or something. Now that's possible. Maybe if you're vibrating low, the whole world's vibrating low, which is like nowadays. Maybe something naturally could happen, but I don't really fall in line with the natural one. I fall, and again, I don't rule it out, but I fall in line with this was orchestrated. Okay. Whether it's bad giants, whether it was just bad humans, whether it was both, whether it was reptilians, I don't know who or what or exactly when, but I do know that there's raw evidence that not only were our cities in this country already built, but didn't have any human beings in them to begin with. I have empty photos of a lot of cities in the mid 1800s. There's no one in sight. There's no people. You see all of San Francisco built, and most of it's old world. Okay. All of it built out. And this is panoramic views and somehow high quality too. Well, I wonder what kind of cameras they actually have.
That's right. So true.
And you don't see a human being, a vehicle, nothing. So how is San Francisco fully built and no one lives there? And
even the sewer systems, the sewer systems are also like super crazy, like very like very.
And the underground tunnels, they're all built. They're already built. So who built these underground tunnels that connect these old world buildings to one another? Well, let me guess, that was done in 6 months, right? It's just like none of it makes sense. And there's too many photos of them digging up train tracks, digging up buildings. And that's why you see these buildings. You go, why is there a door arch on the bottom of the building that goes all the way down? Wait, and he won a contest? This guy sucks. Who would build this without a foundation? And the excuse, like, I'm going to pick on Johnny, because there's not many people that act like that about it. Well, you're just trying to, and I'm not talking shit, I love them, but they're just trying to get sunlight into the basement. And it's like, that's not how you build a basement, number one. Number two, you don't have a door there. It's a doorway. And not only is it a doorway, it's a doorway fit for a 20-foot person. So what would be the point, and why cover it up with a new level? Well, no, they didn't cover it up. The earth, the oceans, the tides, the land, everything rose. And we're living on a new level playing field, guys. And the level playing field is hiding what was here, because it's underneath. It's under the ground. They find temples, ruins under the ocean. Did someone go down there and build those? Like, what are you talking about? Those were there, and something happened. Now,
and I totally 1 second, Sean. I totally agree with you. Like, all these discoveries, all these archaeological discoveries that they keep saying, in digs. It's in digs. Oh, we have to dig down. Oh, we found this bathhouse and we have to dig down. This. Yeah, and Ethiopian temple, that one where they had to dig all around. Like, why is this all buried? Everything is buried. Everything is buried.
So is our true history.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to act like I'm going to be able to uncover this in one film. I might have to do 3 films on this topic because, to try to compress all this information into 60 or 90 minutes is, number one, impossible. But number two, that's not my job. It's not my goal. My goal is to make a film that raises questions, make a film that proves the deceptions, and make a film that basically is walking you to these new doors that you can go through now. I can't make someone go through these doors. I'm just going to set this film's going to be a 101 of our old world. I don't really say Tartaria often because that's just one empire. And I feel like people say, you hear about Tartaria? I'm like, yeah, that's one of many empires. Well, what about them? So the old world is not summed up by the word Tartaria. Not at all. Wow. Tartaria was where Russia is now. Go ahead, look at Russia's flag. They're the only country that's showing you in plain sight that they're putting a knife into the griffin's throat. The griffin, whether that creature was real or not, it looks like dragons were from my research, but the griffin itself is so hidden. It's so no one knows what a griffin is the point, right? So it's, if they hit them and they took them off buildings and they altered griffins' faces to make them look like Egyptians, there's a lot of evidence of this stuff. But my point is, if the griffin was our past empire's number one source of symbology, well, that's why you don't see them anymore. So there is a building in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I advise everybody to look it up. It's a national insurance building, and that's one of the only. It's not a big building. It's an old world building. It's not huge, but it's one of the only untouched Tartarian buildings I've ever seen in the world. And they didn't even take the griffins off. They didn't even take the colors of the Tartarian Empire off. It is completely legit and authentic and organic. And I feel like because it's in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, they're just like, whatever. But again, you have to ask yourself, why is this type of building in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin? And why is that same type of building struck? You know the White House looking buildings with pillars and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That is everywhere in the world, guys. In Hong Kong and Korea. It's not like they have their version of it. It's the same fucking thing everywhere in the world, and all of them have half windows and half doors in the building. Something happened then, and they covered it up, and I think they did a brilliant job of covering it up. But consciousness is shifting. There's nothing they can do from here on out to stop this from getting out. There's nothing they can do.
That's what they found out in Operation Looking Glass, that they realized that they cannot change the future, that this is coming. And and they're losing it, but then
so how many resets do you actually think we had? Like, and as in a reset, what is your what do you think a reset is?
Again, I don't know about any of it. I wasn't there. But
what is your speculation?
Yeah, of course. That's what no one else can do.
We're doing
else, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I speculate really on a reset is, like I said before, is I feel like it was man-made resets where, because there's old articles. I'm not showing anyone now what the film's for, but there's stuff back in the day of them discussing these machines, direct energy weapons, discussing how they do it. And it's basically lenses, multiple lenses compressed into one lens, and they pull the sunlight, and through the lens, they create a laser beam, and everything in the world will be torched from that machine besides the color blue. And I think that's because God knew man's plan and the technology we could try to come up with. But so God wants to make sure that
we can't get out.
That nobody can pierce the firmament above or the oceans below. What color is that? So I just feel like it's not an accident that the only color that cannot be penetrated with the most dangerous machine ever invented is blue. So it makes sense to me, but in terms of the actual weaponizing itself, they've been doing this for a long time. I don't know. I've read articles that said that this machine was used for good at one point. I don't know how. I'm still looking that up, but like all elite pedophiles do, they reverse engineer good stuff to make it bad. How do they do that? Same thing with temples or cathedrals. Now they're called temples and cathedrals. Those buildings were never meant for religions ever. That's something that came later, obviously. But those buildings were actually used for your energy to go into these buildings and heal your body, which is why the organ was called an organ, because it was cleaning your organs. They would tune these organs to a certain frequency that a human being can go in there and clean their body and be as the healthiest they've ever been by the time they get home. They also had wireless technology where they basically would harmonize the community with frequencies, right? Which is what we are. We're energy, and we vibrate based on frequencies, which is what the elite has tried to do in reversing that. Now you go into these temples, and what are they doing? They
take it away.
They're harvesting their energy. They reverse engineer it. People go, what are they doing? Well, I don't know how to break it down, but it's more, you got 100 people going blah 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 all at the same time, and your energy is being used for deception. The energy itself is coming out of you. You could say, I won't even pick on church people. Let's call it a sports arena.
Sporting event.
Yeah, sporting event. You got, 75,000 people all. That's energy draining. And I don't know that a lot of these people are telling me now that, they found a way to reverse engineer that. I still doesn't make sense to me, but I'm working on that they can use our energy against us, and they're already doing that. It used to be the opposite. It used to be using our energy, helping our energy, healing us. It baffles me, man, because it's true. It's like all this stuff's true. They covered all this stuff up, and people want to fight it because they already went to school. They don't want to unlearn all that. They don't want to think that
they have a degree. They paid like a couple $100,000 for it, and now they're in debt for the rest of their life. Of course, that has to be true. I got you.
Yeah, when people say, "Oh, I went to college," I'm like, "You paid extra for a Rockefeller premium package." That
doesn't for a Rockefeller indoctrination.
That doesn't mean
good thing I was poor and stupid at the time. I guess.
Okay, I know you said you gotta go after an hour, but I got one last question.
I got about 15 minutes, man.
Okay, one person who I find absolutely fascinating. How does he tie into this is Tesla. How does Nikola Tesla? Do you have any tie-ins with that man?
Dude.
I'm a little different with him, man. I don't really think he existed either.
Really?
Whoa.
No.
All right.
Listen, man, I'll tell you why. I'll be blunt with you. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, for sure. Let's hear it.
The time period that he was alive, and even his peak, there was 100,000 cameras back then. Maybe millions of cameras, camcorders, microphones. Where's Tesla? Can I hear him, see him at the same time? No. I don't. How does he exist then? I mean, they're like, oh, well, you think Einstein's fake? No, I've heard the fucking shill talk, read his script. I've heard him. I've heard him read his cue cards like a fucking retard.
Yeah,
so he's real. Einstein's real. He's fake, but he was a real dude. Maybe if that wasn't his name, I'm sure that hair was on purpose. But the point I'm trying to make is anyone past 1900. I'm watching today Paris in 1870. I think it was 1889. 4K. I know it's remastered. Still 4K. Still beautiful footage. Still sound. Where's Tesla? That's all. Where is he?
Interesting.
Have you heard him yet? Have you heard him talk? Did you see that interview with him? No, because I didn't. So here's my point. So your audience isn't just lost based off that, which is a red flag though. But at the same time, it's who can we pin this on? Meaning there's nothing but free energy in this country. All hooked up. We got to burn these down. We'll call it a fire. A cow tips up and over. It'll work. Let's just burn all this shit down. Destroy it. Keep the technology for ourselves, use it against them later, but we have to pin it on somebody, So what they did, in my opinion, was when Edison was coming up with his light bulbs and all this shit, it's kind of like this race of like, ooh, electricity, what's going on with it? And they needed to pin it on somebody. Look, guys, for the public, you almost had free energy. Almost. There was this one guy. How about everyone had this free energy? No. That's no. Shh. One guy only almost gave you free energy. He was so close, and it just so happens that he died with his patents, so we don't have anything. We don't. Yeah, any interviews with him? No. But trust us, there's one guy that wanted to give you free energy. We don't even know how he did it, but he wanted to so bad, and he died, and now you got to pay for electricity. I don't know. Move on, pay your taxes. There's no questions asked after that. People are, oh, okay. He seemed cool. Like, I like him. I'm going to get a tattoo of him. Okay. And now what? Now what happens when you type in Tesla? What do you get?
A car.
There you go. They're always going to do that when it's time to. Always.
Yeah. I read a whole biography on that guy. Yeah, very interesting. But
as far as
I'm definitely. No, I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. It's great, but I was like, because after he died in some hotel, and supposedly some government entity came in there and took all of his patents.
Oh, and well, allegedly it was Trump's great uncle or something like that. Trump's uncle actually, who ended up with all his patents.
I like the thought process on that one, Sean.
But I do like that because it's more questions, and that's what I said. I was saying this to Tom the other day. I said, for every answer we get, it opens a door to a bunch of other closed doors where there's just these more questions here, but we're moving forward. But it just adds more and more questions, which I love. I love the mystery. I love seeing these questions. Like, okay, mystery. Let's go for something else.
Real mystery.
Yeah.
Well, again, I could be wrong about Tesla. It's just one of those things where
something doesn't add up.
How could you not question him at that point when there's no evidence of him? Now, anyone could say, hey, well, they buried it. They didn't want people to. No. They'd bury Adolf, right? I see Adolf on YouTube every day, guys. There's no amount of evidence of someone post 1900 that walked this earth. Mm-hmm. There should be video and audio evidence of them, period. If there's not, it's questionable. If it's not questionable to you, I don't know what to tell you. It's that's number one for me. There's no evidence of him existing or to begin with. But even if someone fakes something, it's not enough, guys. It's not enough. I need more. I need more than one clip or two. I found an extra clip. It's blurry, but no. No. Again, I'm watching Paris in 1892 in 4K, guys. I want to see Tesla sitting down talking about his stuff. I don't want artist impressions of him. I don't want cool drawings with beams of light everywhere, and he looks like a retard at that point, like just some crazy scientist guy. You almost got free energy, but it didn't last. One guy, we don't even know how he did it. Well, we want to try. We don't know how. We don't know. We don't have anything. Now Trump's whatever got some patents, and you're not going to get him and move on. And I don't buy it, man. I think it's a big psyop, and it's not even that I hope I'm wrong. I don't need him to exist. That doesn't do anything for me. He's not. Right. Tesla's nothing to me, man. It's all this stuff was here. All this stuff was here, and they showed off a lot of their electricity, their free electricity. They showed it off in the World Fairs. The modern home, I don't think, had electricity till the 1900s to begin with. But you talk about mid 1800s, late 1800s. They're lighting up fairs brighter than downtown Chicago now.
Yep.
How? Right? How? And it's because it already existed. No one invented electricity. No one invented outlets. What they did was they took the already ancient civilization's technology, and they found a way to pull what's the word I'm looking for? Pull energy from the ether.
Yeah. And
instead of just wirelessly transmitting it like you should for free to everybody, they look in your town now. There's going to be a pole that has all the ports going to all your outlets in your community. They're doing the same thing. If you want to know how it's done, go look. Like, you'll see these. I forget. I just tip of the tongue. I forgot what they're called, but that's exactly what's going on. They're doing that is a Tesla thing, right?
Like the big, huge power poles, like those big, huge,
power lines.
Right. And you look at the top,
like the big, huge ones, the metal ones.
You look at the top of them. It's the same thing as all ancient buildings had. They're pulling it from the ether, and it's coming down. And instead of going wirelessly to the world, they're capturing it underground.
The spires, you mean?
they're putting it on smart meters, hooking them up to your homes with electrical outlets. None of that's necessary. Santos Bonacci, I don't even think he has outlets right now. I think he's been on this Tesla coil for a long time. You can have a Tesla. You can do this stuff yourself until someone knocks on your door, your electricity company, and threatens to take you to court at that point. And then hopefully you go to court and win, because this is free energy. We don't need to pay for it. It's as stupid as going to your grocery store and buying water. Water's free, dude. Like what? Like I get that.
Here you kind of have to, but...
They force you to pay for it because your sink water's fluoridated. So that's why we go pay for bottled water. Just because the free stuff will kill you or make you dumb, at least at a minimum.
Yeah.
So that's why people like us, even, we still go pay for cleaner water. We shouldn't have to, is the point. Our sink water, they got the right idea, though. Our sink water is free, at least most people. I rent, so maybe that's why I don't own anything. But, it's always been free. Water's included, right? It's just the way rent is. But it's because, it's fucking free. What do you mean? It's water. Are you kidding me? But, they put so much poison in there that it forces you to pay for it. And even then, you're paying for plastic. You're paying for, whatever's inside. We don't really know at the end of the day. It's just sad, man. We live in a sad, sad world now where everyone pays for stuff that's free. And I'm just sick of it, man. I really hope that this film, Old World Order, will bring questions to the table where even a history major can watch it and go, what the fuck?
So Sean, so you on your website, that's where people can donate to you so you can get this film out faster, or is there like a special way?
If you want just directly, it's owofilm.com. So not NWO, fuck them. owofilm.com. And I'm on Fundraiser. If you like long leaks, it's fundraiser.com/oldworldorder. But owofilm.com, you'll see the cast, you'll see what I'm doing, you'll see the trailer. Click the button. $1 will help, guys. You'd think it doesn't, but wow, it does, because it's quantity. I'm not looking to take anyone's money, man. It's just one of those things where it's like, hey, man, if you want to help me out so I can get the rest of these flights done, just throw me $1. And I always make the joke that, I got 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. If half of them gave me 50 cents, half of them donated 50 cents, I'd be above my budget. So it's, I'm not asking anyone to break their bank. We're in tough times. I'm asking you, if you think this topic is interesting, if you want to help me with boots on the ground and sending drones up to see what these structures are, to really dissect this, to really go and talk to some people of these buildings and face to face. I already got some viral moments. I don't even want to do any spoilers right now, but
all right.
Say that the moments I do have with state employees prove what I'm talking about. They have no idea what's going on in their own buildings, and their own stories also confuse them. So, that's all. I mean, it's just gone a little slower, man. It's a little different. My Flat Earth films, I put the fundraiser up. It's funded in 3 weeks. It seems like it's like 20 grand's there before I even wake up the next day, because all the flat earthers are like, Hibbeler, thank God, yes, get this shit out there. We want you to go to Santos. We want you to go see Dave Weiss. We want you to go do all the stuff, because the community is so big and they love me, right? So, but Old World, I thought that was, well, I can't say a bigger community, but it's more of a broader community, meaning that you could still believe in a globe and be into this stuff. I don't see how, but it still exists is the point. So I feel like it's a broader audience. But you know what?
But maybe not quite as passionate.
Maybe. But at the same time, those that are into this topic, and there's a lot of them, you all know that when your neighbor or your cousin or someone comes by and says, well, I always hear you talking about some Tartar stuff. What is this? Oh, no, Tartaria. Oh, the Empire. Oh, they lied. And the neighbor's like, I don't know. What can I watch on this? Nothing. And I mean that, because I have tried this before. I go see John Levi's channel. Go see Overall Florida. Go watch Michelle Gibson. And they don't know what to watch. They don't know what to click. They click on a video. It's too advanced for them. These guys are awesome, but they're too advanced for your neighbor to grasp anything I'm talking about. So this is why I need to make a film on a topic that needs a 101 introduction. And I don't mean a boring, 101. Like, I don't want old world people to be like, oh, this might be a yawner. No, you're gonna fucking love this. But it's the point of, this is a way to educate someone that you want to educate on the topic, instead of just screaming at them or sharing a TikTok link. That doesn't work for them, guys. I know you're going to continue to do it, and I hope you do, but it's just for the normal person, or even the one trying to awaken, that doesn't really help. What helps is what got them to this point, the programming of movies, TV shows, documentaries from the mainstream. This is why they have this concept. They've watched stuff on History Channel. They don't know what we're talking about. Well, they need to watch a film on this. And this is why I make a film. Now, for my audience and the truther community, you don't ever have to pay for my films. It's always going to be free on YouTube and Rumble. Just give it at least a month when the film comes out. Wait a month. Right. It's going to be on there for free. Yes, it's going to be in standard definition. Sorry, I have bills. But the reason I do the standard definition free version is for you all. It's just for you guys. You guys deserve the truth for free. But your neighbor that's like, where's that film? I want to watch the film. OWOfilm.com when it's out. Because I'm sorry, man, we've been trying to wake you up for 10 years for free. And I'll tell you why they deserve to pay $5 to rent my 4K film. It's not just my hard work that deserves it, and I earn that. It's the point that they will value their purchase. They will pause the film to piss. They won't do that on a YouTube free video. I've seen it with my own eyes. They don't care. There's no passion attached.
I totally agree with that. If you give something away for free, it doesn't have value. But if you sell something, even if it's the same product, you sell it to them for $5, that now has value, and they will actually care for it more.
Yeah, and I hear all the time from business associates of mine that are way more successful than me, that say, dude, $5 is a joke. What are you doing? Your films are worth $15.99, $9.99 at the minimum. You're discrediting yourself. This is amazing, especially with Level with me. They're like, dude, $5, Jesus Christ, how do you eat? And I'm like, it's not about that. It's not about how do I eat. It's just the fact that I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like more people would rent something that's $5 opposed to 10. And that's it. If I thought the other way, I literally would do it based off of those results. It's not about money for me. It's about how can I get a normal person that's flipping through their TV apps. Like, again, Movies Plus. All my stuff's on Movies Plus. Greatest app ever. It's Netflix for truthers, in my opinion. But for instance, someone's on Movies Plus. They got millions of users. Normal people, right? And they're looking, oh, what's Old World Order? And they see, oh, okay, it's a history documentary. Oh, let's watch it. Okay, let's rent it. Boom, boom, boom. They're invested now. This is a real film for them, guys. This is not, oh, Hibbeler Productions, conspiracy. No, they don't know anything. They're just seeing this nice film. I do good artwork. My movie posters are always been complimented. I'm not doing anything unprofessional. So they could literally wake up from that, and no one even made them. No one even helped. They don't have a conspiracy person in their family. They just stumbled upon it because this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to distribute, whether it's Vimeo, Movies Plus, even Prime. Prime won't allow it, but I try to do my best to distribute it to every single mainstream platform that can possibly accept it. Tubi, I think Level was on Tubi for a while. I don't know if it's there anymore. I don't get a dime from it, but I don't care as a point. I want the mainstream. I want the society to wake up in the way that they get brainwashed with lies. They just stumble upon it. There's no other way to do it, guys. I have to distribute to other platforms that I have to charge. And I think a lot of these sites is the minimum $5. So that's why I've always been $5, because it's always been the minimums on any platform when you want people to rent your film. And I'm not looking for the truth community to not only donate and then go rent it, but that's just up to you at that point. That's why I don't force anyone to help. You know it's going to be on Rumble and YouTube for free within 30 days of the release. You can wait. But if you choose not to wait, if you want to watch it, you're helping me. So it's a win-win. You're helping me, and you're going to watch it early, and it's going to be in 4K. Those are good things. People rent movies all the time. But if you're going to judge, I'm not saying you. If the viewer that's watching judges my decisions,
Yeah.
You need to refocus on your life, because I guarantee you look at me and saying, hey, man, you shouldn't be charging for your hard work. Let me come into your house, Mr. or Mrs. Truther. Guarantee you got Netflix. Guarantee you got Prime. I guarantee you have one of those. I guarantee you have Spotify. I guarantee you are paying Hollywood with your hypocritical mouth and money, and you're disproving what I'm doing. You know, it just doesn't make sense. If the only people I listen to about you shouldn't charge for your hard work are the ones that don't have any mainstream or Hollywood services. They don't pay for anything like that. Now I will actually take the time and go, all right, I will listen to you. I will respect your opinions. Let's have a conversation now. But other than that, no, man. Yeah,
I got you.
My goal is for everyone to stop paying Hollywood. Stop supporting pedophiles. Stop supporting the system that we hate. And instead of that, support people like myself and countless others that are that go out there with a target on their head and don't give a fuck, because we're doing it for you. You know, like I'm not, you think you know how easy I can just go get a sports job, media production, making 6 figures a year tomorrow. I will never do that, guys. I'm sorry. I'd rather struggle the rest of my life. As long as I could wake people up, I'd rather do this. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sean,
well, we want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
We want to thank you for your struggle and waking everybody up. You know, it's people like you that woke me up. You know, like my person that woke me up was Ben Stewart. I don't know, or Benjamin Stewart. I don't know if you know him. No. He made a movie, Kymatica, or that was my eye awakening one, was Kymatica, and
mine was George Carlin.
Alex Jones. I was here. Alex Jones. I'm like,
oh god.
No, mine was a comedian, George Carlin. Kind of like got the ball rolling from there. But really commendable, dude. We really appreciate that you came on today, man. Many thanks, listeners of the Applause Frequency. Go out there and support Sean's film, so he can get it out there, so he can go fly
50
to Florida.
Yeah,
$50 dollar. Give him a nickel. And
dollar, make him holler. Yeah. Let's do it.
We really appreciate it.
Look,
and
let's keep in touch, man. I'm a reasonable guy. I understand how hard it is to even get someone to like a video, and that's free. So I get the struggle in this, but I do know the passion behind people's hearts, and I know that the people exist. I mean, my fundraiser is almost 40% filled, so that means there's people that have the heart that go, you know what? I want this made. I want to see this. I know what he's done, and I want to see this. That's all. Those are the only people I'm looking to help, because I know that they want to help. And I know that they will help. I don't want anybody outside of their comfort zone to give anything, because, you know, it's unnecessary. If you're into this type of stuff, I've donated to many projects in my life. I've donated to different, all these different things, always in the truth community, always personal stuff where it's like, dude, I want to help them out. I like what they're doing. Someone that's raising money to go to Antarctica. If that happened tomorrow, I'd give anything I could to help. This is how we change the world. We help each other, and we stop supporting all of them. If you're spending money on the government, Hollywood, or anything along those lines, you're the problem. You're the problem. I'm sorry. We need to collectively stop supporting and paying for any of it. Who wants to see Tom Hanks' new movie?
Oh god,
that's my point. But yet millions will still come in the box office. I'm just getting sick of it. I don't want those millions. Okay, it's just the point. They shouldn't get it either. It's there has to be a way to, you know, stop this. And all I can do is make Hollywood-esque films and documentaries, trailers, for people that go, you know what, maybe we should support him. Maybe we should stop supporting them. And that's another goal of mine, is to not only be more successful one day, but have a team and have a sound guy and have a, you know, it takes a lot of hard work, man. It almost seems impossible when I see my bank account, but I look at it like this, man. All it takes is one film, man. That $5 rental when Old World Order comes out next year.
There you go.
Imagine if 100,000 people wanted to watch that. I know that sounds insane. I'm just saying it out loud. Like, imagine if 100,000 people, I'm not saying 100 million, 100,000 people, they could all watch a Tartaria video on YouTube, or world video on YouTube in a day. 100,000, that's nothing. If 100,000 people rented that film that day, well, guess what? I can get a sound guy. I can get a team for my next film, which I want probably on chemtrails because I have phone numbers of actual military whistleblowers now.
There you go.
Oh shit!
There's people that know how to prove that they're killing us, and this is an MMA fighter. Okay, this is the person that did it to us. Okay.
Wow.
So it's one of those things where I have goals to wake the world up.
Yeah, yeah.
The last thing I ever want to do again, guys, is have a fundraiser. I don't want it. I don't want fundraisers. I hate them. It's uncomfortable. I don't like begging. But until I make a film that blows up, I know they won't allow it to. The powers that be won't allow it to, technically. But if I made a film that blew up, I'll never do a fundraiser again because I made actual money from the film, which is what people do when they make films, apparently. But if that happened to me, I'm saying if that happened to me, if it was just a random act of God where all these people rented that film that week, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like the IRS is going to come to my house. I haven't paid them in 12 years. Fuck them. My point is, though, if that happened, I'm already, okay, I'm starting my new film tomorrow. Where am I flying tomorrow? I don't have to wait. I don't have to ask. I don't have to budget. I could just go. And that's a dream of mine. It's not about the money. It's about the opportunity.
The freedom to do what it is that you want to do to let people, to inform people about the things they've been tricked into doing. I think that's,
or get them to get them to start questioning. Yeah, well, awesome. Sean, if you ever find yourself down in Mexico, I know we didn't say that, but that's where we are. We're down in Mexico.
I was in, what was the last time I was there? Puerto Morelos, maybe.
Okay. We're in the Yucatan Peninsula. We both left our countries that we were living in because of I left Chinada. Yep. Yeah, exactly. I was like the I don't know. They're getting way too locked down, and I'm like, I need to get out. So we
want to come down here and look at some pyramids or something? Because we're close to them too.
So very nice. Yeah. Mexico's so big. So what part of it?
We're in the state of Campeche, so we're in the Gulf of Mexico, and we're in the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico,
all the way down to the bottom.
Last time I was there was Puerto Morelos. I don't know if you know where that is. It's 30 minutes from Cancun. It's about 30 minutes from Cancun.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah. So
that's real close then.
Well, it's about 5 hours.
That's where for Level with Me with Santos, his scenes were in Mexico. That was in Puerto Morelos. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So Cancun, like you would fly into Cancun and then you'd take the bus over. It's 5 hours over to Campeche.
Okay, how you guys like it out there?
Love it.
I love it. It does get freaking hot though in the summer. It gets real hot.
Man, why not the winter? I mean, the sun's 93 million miles away. Wouldn't it always be the same?
Right.
All right, Sean. Well, once again, dude, we appreciate it so much that you came on the show, and go out there and support his stuff, man, and so he can get more of this information out. And once again, thanks very much, dude. We appreciate it.
God bless you all. Thank you.
God bless you too, my friend. All right, so that was the great Sean Hibbeler.
That was fantastic, man. I could have listened to him for another hour and a half.
Yeah, he's got a lot of fire in his belly. I think he has I like his moral standards and which way he's going about things. Great dude, and more power to him, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to say thank you for coming out. And all our listeners, our watchers, our subscribers, go check him out. Send him $1, 50 cents.
Go check out his documentaries that he's already done on the FE.
On the level.
Yeah, on
next level.
Things, and you can see what he's about. So maybe it'll motivate you to see what he's going to talk about in this next film and hopefully future films. So, any housekeeping? Anything you want to do?
That's it. Nope. We just did it.
Remember,
make sure you like, subscribe, and
hit that bell notification.
Comment.
Tell your friends.
Yeah.
And remember, you're listening to the Lost Frequency Podcast, where we bring the periphery into focus.
Now I'm questioning my video with the round Earth, the globe.
Yeah, it's the best for Sean.
We close with good night, good luck, and God bless all of you on the good Earth.
Long live the cause of freedom.